Hello, everybody. Finally, we're getting to that point where I actually start talking a little bit about the stories and my experiences. Some of you have commented on my previous videos and asked me to change a few things, so I'm taking into consideration your feedback and changing up the videos a little bit. This story begins with an unfortunate truth about the business world. Imagine two kingdoms fighting each other, extremely powerful and vital to all businesses that can't seem to agree, constantly at each other's throats, trying to kill each other, and that fight is always a bad thing. Once those two kingdoms learn to work together, those two kingdoms can grow any business into the millions. Those two kingdoms are sales and marketing. And you might be telling me, Alex, what the hell? How is that even a thing? I'll tell you that Forbes wrote an article on November 27th about a McKinsey study that stated that 50% of CEOs and CMOs do not agree on what exactly marketing is and the roles of marketing within a company. Now, this is interesting because it's not just marketing within itself. What happens when marketing is not agreed upon? Who takes the fall? Who takes the responsibility? And a lot of the times, it's the sales team. Before I get into the details of how this specifically affects sales and sales teams, let's try to define marketing and what marketing actually is. What's the main difference between sales and marketing? ChatGPT says sales is the team that focuses on converting prospects into actual paying customers. They interact directly with the customers, negotiate deals, and close sales. Their efforts are often individual and target specific clients or accounts. Now let's look at marketing. Marketing is more about reaching out to potential customers through various strategies to create interest in the company's products or services. They work on brand awareness, market research, advertising, and creating materials that help in attracting customers. In simple terms, marketing creates the messages and reaches out to the audience, while sales directly engages with potential customers to turn them into buyers. Both departments need to work closely together, but have distinct roles in the business process. Businesses, especially small businesses, will not be able to afford having additional members or extra members to do sales and marketing. Sales members will overreach their responsibilities and generate their own marketing strategies or do their own marketing. Now, there's multiple ways of doing this. Sometimes a company will reach out to a senior sales member that has accumulated a network over the years, and ultimately that would be the same activity of outsourcing marketing to that experienced sales member and not having to do marketing internally. Now that has some benefits, but it also has a lot of drawbacks because of the simple fact that a sales guy can't do everything ultimately. If you don't have the marketing team and the sales team communicating properly, you'll run into some issues. Those issues can be inconsistent messaging, because sometimes you'll have somebody who's in charge of doing marketing activity that can put things on your website or your social media, but it might not be the same thing that the sales guy is telling your clients. And that can cause friction between a client who's expecting something that's unrealistic. There can be missed sales opportunities where someone who's in charge of marketing can get leads from, let's say, their campaign or a marketing activity, but the sales guy might not follow up properly and be able to convert those leads or to be able to create an effective communication with those. You can have wasted resources where you can create materials or marketing materials that won't be used or might not be necessary for the sales guys, or the sales guys will create their own materials where the marketing people already had created materials. You can have a poor customer experience. You might get better customer experience from one team versus the other, where generally you want to keep that brand a close-knit team where it's a cohesive service, a cohesive, unified team. And another one is reduced efficiency and effectiveness. Now, this is obviously due to the fact that, one or the other can't really do everything. Most of the time, what will happen is it's put on the sales guy. So the sales guy will be expected to create marketing materials and things like that. But as much as he can be a great do it all, it's just there's time constraints to that, and keeping those open communications with the clients is a lot more important for a sales guy to maintain rather than doing some of the market building activities. Another discrepancy that can happen is the fact that the marketing team is really specialized in creating the market. You'll have a team that is able to leverage specific tools to understand what is a target client, what is the best space for the company to go into. That would be to support the sales team. Because if the sales team doesn't have a clear target, they're going to struggle to create those communications. For example, you'll have a company that hasn't completely developed all of its value proposition. The marketing team will be the team to be able to reach out to the market and understand what people are looking for, what people are asking for, and they can back it up with data sets, ultimately help the sales team create a better message to be able to reach out and have a better conversation with their potential clients. My experience in operations building and process building, I've had direct contact with sales teams, and I've also been in charge of creating processes for customer success teams. I've seen the direct effects of when a CEO or a business leader doesn't fully understand the differences between sales and marketing and expects one or the other to kind of do too much or overreach into each other's spaces. And I've been into client calls where the messaging of the product or the service is incomplete. Not having the full messaging before you go in and actually talk to a client is extremely detrimental and hard to do. And this can be avoided by creating a strong process, making sure that there's a checklist. And also, if there are certain aspects of the company that are missing, you'll see that within the process development phase, and you'll see that maybe the people that are trying to do their job don't have the necessary tools or don't have the necessary information to really succeed. Well, that's it for now. But if you have any questions regarding process, regarding operational development, and any questions you might have about my understanding and my experiences of sales and marketing, go ahead and message me. I'll look forward to telling you more stories in my future videos. So feel free to comment. All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.